Hello there and welcome back. Tonight we will embark on a quiet and thoughtful journey into the science of O-positive blood, the most common blood type in the world, present in around 38% of the global population. Imagine, if you will, this essential life force flowing gently through your veins, carrying oxygen to every cell, and removing the waste products that would otherwise accumulate. The biology of blood is vast, intricate, and has played a critical role in the evolution of our species, as well as the ongoing story of modern medicine. In this special discussion, let us explore some fascinating facts, beginning with the idea that O-positive blood has a unique compatibility profile that makes it incredibly valuable in hospitals and emergency situations. Because O-positive blood carries the RAL-positive protein marker, it can be given to anyone who shares that RAL positivity, which encompasses roughly 86% of all people. That means an A-positive patient, a B-positive patient, or even an AB-positive patient could receive an O-positive blood transfusion when needed, a factor that has saved countless lives during emergencies when immediate blood type matching is not always possible. However, this compatibility is a one-way street in many ways. If you have O-positive blood, you can only receive blood from other O-positive or O-negative donors. This particular dynamic has made O-positive blood donors extremely valued around the world, as their transfusions can serve large segments of the population in critical moments. But there is so much more to this story, including how O-positive blood may have offered unique evolutionary advantages, shaping our survival across millennia, and how modern genetic insights are revealing new layers of complexity behind what was once thought to be a straightforward classification system. As we continue, picture a gentle laboratory environment, illuminated with a soft warmth, where scientists peer through microscopes to observe how these microscopic donated cells might appear. If you looked closely, you would see that each red blood cell carries surface proteins called antigens, which help our immune system distinguish between our own cells and foreign invaders. In the ABO classification system, type O blood carries neither the A nor the B antigen, a feature that allows O donors to be given in a broader sense to those who have AB or AB antigens in their own blood. This is where the term universal donor often arises, although strictly speaking, O-negative is known as the universal donor because it lacks both the A and B antigens as well as the RAL factor. Yet O-positive is not too far behind in its importance, able to help anyone with a positive RAL factor. Now, the subtleties of blood types lie not only in these major ABO and RAL factors, but also in multiple minor blood group systems that researchers are exploring. The main classification methods, ABO and RAL, remain at the center of transfusion medicine because they represent the most likely ways to trigger a dangerous immune response if blood is not properly matched. However, the deeper science behind O-positive blood extends beyond just medical compatibility. Scientists have spent decades investigating the evolutionary underpinnings of why certain populations have higher frequencies of one blood type compared to another, speculating that disease resistance and environmental pressures might have shaped these distributions. In the case of O-positive, researchers have proposed that historically, communities with a high proportion of type O individuals may have had some resilience against specific pathogens, including certain strains of malaria. There have been hypotheses that the red blood cells of type O individuals, lacking the A and B antigens, may have presented fewer attachment points for certain parasites or viruses. Although the data is complex, and we are still uncovering the details, the concept is that, over many generations, these small advantages in resistance to infections could have led to a higher prevalence of O-type blood within human populations. Another angle to consider is the role of genetics in determining your blood type. The ABO gene located on chromosome 9 dictates whether you have type AB, or O, while another site encodes the RAUG factor. If both of your parents carry the gene for type O, you will also have type O blood. If at least one parent has type A or type B genes, there is a chance you could inherit one of those genes. Yet it is important to note that sometimes the expression of these traits follows rules of codominance, where certain alleles can both be expressed, leading to the AB blood group. With respect to O positive, you only need one copy of the positive RAUG allele to have a positive blood type, which explains why having a positive blood type is more common worldwide than having a negative blood type. If we travel back in time, anthropologists debate the origins of the ABO types, noting that some studies suggest type O might be the oldest in our lineage, going back to our early human ancestors. There is an intriguing possibility that, in the face of ancient epidemics, small shifts in genetic composition were favored if they conferred even marginally better odds of surviving. People with type O might have endured certain plagues better, and thus the gene remained relatively common. Today that legacy continues in the form of the approximately 38% of people who carry this versatile type, many of whom have O positive. From a modern medical perspective, if you were admitted to a hospital with severe blood loss and your exact type was not immediately known, O positive blood might be administered if you are known to be RAUG positive, or if there is no time to test thoroughly, O negative might be used. This phenomenon highlights the recent advances in transfusion medicine, allowing for quick cross-matching procedures or emergency protocols that can save lives. The reason O positive blood has become so integral in emergency rooms is precisely because of its ability to help so many people in a pinch. Many blood banks often report that type O donors are in high demand, especially O negative donors, though O positive donors also provide a vital resource for a large share of recipients who share the RAUG positive marker. As medical science has advanced, researchers are trying to see if we can artificially craft universal donor blood by modifying blood cells in a laboratory setting, removing or altering the antigens on their surface. However, these technologies, while promising, are still in various stages of experimentation and are not ready to replace the generosity of volunteer donors anytime soon. That is why understanding the distribution and availability of blood types still matters greatly in the here and now. Among the more intriguing questions in this field is whether having O positive blood influences aspects of health beyond transfusion compatibility. It is easy to find speculation that type O individuals might be less prone to certain conditions and may be a bit more susceptible to others, though the data on this topic can be conflicting and is rarely definitive enough for broad conclusions. Some research has suggested that gastric ulcers may appear more frequently in type O individuals, possibly related to how the stomach lining interacts with microorganisms like Helicobacter pylori. Other studies have hinted that type O individuals might have a slightly lower risk of cardiovascular disease or deep vein thrombosis. But these findings are subject to ongoing study, and individual health outcomes depend on countless factors, from diet to lifestyle choices and overall genetic background. That being said, if we think about the bigger picture, the fact that O positive blood can be so easily used for a wide swath of people in emergency situations speaks to its evolutionary staying power. Across generations, if you possessed O-type genetics, your descendants might have had an enhanced capacity to give or receive life-saving transfusions, though historically transfusions were not available as they are today. Of course, still there may have been ways that this simpler antigen profile contributed to better immune responses in certain contexts. The interplay between environment, pathogens and genetics is exceptionally complex, but type O's wide distribution indicates that it has served humanity well for many centuries. In a present-day laboratory, as flasks are gently agitated and the hum of equipment resonates in the background, scientists continue to delve into the secrets of our blood, using modern tools such as genotyping, advanced immunology assays, and bioinformatics. They examine how rare subtypes of O-positive might carry distinct markers, or how local populations exhibit slight variations in the proportion of O-positive individuals. In some parts of the world, for instance, you might find that an even higher portion of the population is O-positive, approaching nearly half of all individuals. This pattern reinforces the idea that overall O-positive is not just a random distribution but the product of a long line of evolutionary events and genetic patterns. It's also worth noting that the ABO classification was first discovered in the early 1900s by Karl Landsteiner, who identified that mixing different blood types often led to agglutination, a dangerous immune reaction. Later, the Rauch factor discovery added an extra dimension to our understanding, showing that not only ABO but also Rauch grouping could cause problems if mismatched. Since those pioneering days, our knowledge of blood types has expanded greatly, but the fundamental fact remains that type O blood, especially O-positive, is a cornerstone of global healthcare. It is so often in demand that blood banks organize frequent drives, encouraging donors of all blood types to give, but placing particular emphasis on O donors because of their broad compatibility. In every bag of donated O-positive blood, there is a quiet power to stabilize someone who might be experiencing critical blood loss from an accident, surgery, or medical condition. All of this underscores how deeply connected we are through the biology of blood, a substance that not only unites us in life but also transcends geographic and cultural boundaries. If you have O-positive blood, you might feel a sense of connection knowing that your donation can possibly support the most common rogue category on the planet, bridging the gap between countless individuals in need. Likewise, if you do not have O-positive, your particular blood type is no less critical, as medical facilities strive to stock a balanced inventory of all types. Returning to our theme of evolution and survival, some anthropologists suggest that nomadic and hunter-gatherer ancestors who possessed type O might have encountered certain pathogens less frequently or might have been better able to adapt immunologically. Meanwhile, those in agricultural settings might have seen changes in ABO distribution. Over thousands of years, these shifts in diets, geographies, and social structures likely had subtle influences on the genetic makeup of entire communities. What we can say with certainty, however, is that the ABO system itself has persisted for a very long time, supporting the notion that there is probably no single best type, but rather a variety of blood groups that helped humans endure diverse environments. Another piece of the puzzle is how the presence of certain antibodies in type O blood might prime the immune system in ways that differ from other types. Because O individuals naturally produce both anti-A and anti-B antibodies, their immune system might react differently to certain bacterial or viral challenges. In some situations, this might confer an enhanced readiness against outside invaders. Yet it is equally possible that there can be circumstances where these antibodies might complicate transplant procedures or other interactions. The give and take of evolution is rarely a clear-cut advantage or disadvantage. It is a complex interplay of factors that can shift over time. Regardless of these intricacies, what remains compelling is the knowledge that O-positive is a unifying factor in transfusion medicine. It can be administered to nearly 9 out of every 10 individuals, provided they are rogue positive. This reality makes O-positive donors a linchpin of blood supply preparedness. If you think about the logistical side of medicine, it is crucial for a hospital to have a stable store of O-positive and O-negative blood, since both are so widely needed. Combining that with the reality that O-positive individuals can only receive blood from other type O donors highlights both the generosity and the vulnerability of being O-positive. As we glide further into this intricate subject, heed the subtle wonder that passes through your mind, acknowledging the synergy between biology, history and technology. The RBCs themselves, so minute they are invisible to the are essential carriers of hemoglobin, the protein that binds oxygen and ferries it to your tissues. Imagine the silent efficiency of these cells passing through narrow capillaries, delivering life-sustaining oxygen at every turn. Now overlay the ABO and rogue information on top of that, and you can see how each person's blood type is like a molecular signature, an identifying tapestry of proteins that reflect our shared human story. The reason O-positive is so common might be thought of as an evolutionary tapestry woven by centuries of exposure to different environments, combined with the inheritance patterns of AB and rogue genes. We then arrive at the vantage point of modern science, which attempts to harness this knowledge to save lives and better understand disease processes. There are ongoing investigations into how blood types might correlate with viral susceptibility, with some scientists examining how type O might or might not affect vulnerability to certain respiratory illnesses. Although the evidence is not always definitive, it keeps the field of immunohematology and infectious disease research active, and it underscores that blood is more than just a fluid. It is a living tissue intimately linked to our survival. If you follow the chain of these discoveries, you might be struck by how each major breakthrough in blood research, from the identification of AB loops to the classification of the rogue factor, eventually improved medical safety and opened the door to more sophisticated organ transplant surgeries and emergency interventions. Today, we recognize that while O-negative is the universal donor for red blood cells, O-positive remains a critical resource because it is so broadly compatible with anyone who is rogue positive. And since the majority of humans happen to be rogue positive, O-positive blood can help ensure a robust and flexible supply for crisis situations. Furthermore, some experts propose that type O exhibits slightly different clotting profiles or likelihoods of certain bleeding conditions, which is another area of clinical investigation. Yet beyond these technical considerations, there is an undeniable story here about how O-positive has served as a bridge during times of need, connecting donors and recipients all across the globe. This knowledge can instill a sense of calm gratitude for the elegant symmetry in how our bodies are made, and how we can share part of ourselves to help another. As you relax into the cadence of this gentle exploration, perhaps you can picture the warmth of softly lit laboratories, where skilled scientists study the intricacies of immune responses, or the hushed corridors of hospitals where patients anxiously await transfusions, made possible by volunteers who decided to donate a portion of themselves. The path from blood donor to recipient underscores a fundamental truth that despite any differences we possess, we all share these core biological systems that unify our species. The O-positive blood type is in that sense a shining example of how one classification can have such a wide-reaching impact on public health and personal well-being. Beyond the laboratory, it is also fascinating that in popular culture, blood type is sometimes associated with personality traits, particularly in certain regions of the world. While there is no solid scientific evidence for those claims, it reflects a broader human interest in understanding how something as intimate and vital as blood might shape who we are. Scientific consensus focuses more on the physical and immunological aspects rather than personality. Even so, the widespread curiosity shows how people everywhere have long recognized that blood is no mere fluid. It is the essence of life itself, carrying nourishment, immune cells, and the story of our ancestors in every drop. Now, as we move toward a contemplative close, consider how O-positive blood's legacy is not just about being the most common type, but about being a critical component in the shared tapestry of our species, vital in emergencies and owed by the demand of survival across centuries of human history. When you next observe your own veins, or perhaps contemplate the marvel of donation drives, you might reflect on how these microscopic cells, invisible to the naked eye, keep you alive and connect you to a broader global community. O-positive donors, in particular, embody a certain generosity, because their blood can reach a large portion of people who share that rogue-positive status. Meanwhile, the knowledge that O-positive recipients are limited in where they can receive their blood may prompt an appreciation for the delicate balance in nature and medicine. The progress of science continues, uncovering new nuances about ABO subgroups, unveiling possible links to disease susceptibility or protection, and striving for more refined understandings of how our immune systems respond to external threats. Yet for now, the fundamental facts remain that O-positive is indeed the most prevalent type, present in approximately 38% of people worldwide, that it can broadly serve those of us who are O-positive, and that it stands as a testament to a long and fascinating evolutionary journey. Thank you for joining me on this calm and reflective exploration of the science behind O-positive blood. As we wind down, may you rest in the quiet assurance that our bodies are wondrous in their design. Let these thoughts gently accompany you into a peaceful night. Thank you for being here, and I hope you find comfort in the knowledge of our biological unity. Good night and sweet dreams.